Hello once again, friends. So this is the third part, the final, from the haul from the comic convention last weekend. This being the stuff that is not 50 cent or dollar bin stuff, but rather items that were a little bit more in cost and price. We powered through. It's pretty speedy the last couple of videos, but I'm gonna not be afraid to slow down and like open up some of these, look through them a little bit. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Actually, this some of these are from like this particular vendor anyway, some dollar bin stuff. But you know, we got like a little bit of bucks off for a bulk deal, going a little bit over like $10 or $20, like rounding down and stuff like that. It's kind of always like if I'm like right at like 10 or $20 or 15 or something, I'll like try to add on something that's a couple more bucks to try and get a deal and be like, how about like 10 or 15 or 20 or whatever, you know how we do. I imagine you guys know, but just for anybody who's like kind of new out there, that's one strat. So these were from a dollar bin from Richard. I actually got a bunch of those like valuable X-Men and stuff from him. He always has some cool stuff. I actually got that Grendel Warchild were from dollar bins that he had like years back. So getting into this is Grendel Tales, Four Devils, One Hell, number 1. And spoiler, this is a full set. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. It's probably like $5 for that. And looking forward to reading more Grendel. Some Charlton horror with a 12-cent cover price. The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 15. Look at the colors in his eyes too. I thought maybe like a kid or something might have altered it, but no, it looks like that's the way it's colored. Some initials here, so it takes the cost down, but I don't mind. Another thing I want to remark on was it kind of like there was a cult files of Dr. Spectre or whatever too around this era, and Doctor Strange around this era. Who came first? Was it kind of like biting on Doctor Strange? I'm just guessing maybe that was the case, but yeah, I'd be interested to know if you guys know. Those same marker initials again on this, another 12 center for Charlton Strange Suspense Stories number 5. I'm always looking for some Charlton horror. Okay, from the $2 stuff, I think, what would this have been, like 22 or 24, but gave it to me for 20, something like that. Dark Horse Presents number 55. This one a little bit more expensive from the Sin City Dark Horse Presents usually, I guess just because it has like kind of a weird iconic cover. This is a second copy though. Why not for a toonie? I had this one when it came out as like a youngster, or this series. This is a Monkey Man and O'Brien special, but also this Monkey Man and O'Brien mini-series. Because I love Art Adams. Again, excuse my allergies from like cleaning dust off of a bunch of these old books. This is Monkey Man and O'Brien number 1. But I gotta tell you, man, like I was looking through it and reading through it again, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. As much as I love Arthur Adams, I don't know if I'm very much of a completist. This doesn't really seem to, not to be negative, I love Arthur Adams, but I kind of like don't keep everything. But this kind of like, it seems to me like just looking through it again, like it's good, but it doesn't seem to have the same, like, this is pretty nice, but it doesn't seem to have overall throughout the issues like the same wow factor, and maybe that's why I didn't keep it initially. I'm on the fence, so maybe I'll take some time to reevaluate. Oh, this is cool though. A Frank Miller pinup of Monkey Man and O'Brien here. And Monkey Man and O'Brien number 3. Terminator the Enemy Within number 2. I've kind of been going through these Terminator series. Some of them are really good. So these are the ones that I was mentioning from this series. Number 2 for Enemy Within, and number 4. Some biz covers there. Another, the second vendor like to open up in the morning and let us look through his stuff was a guy that I heard people call Smokey. Because I guess a lot of the word on the street was that a lot of his books would smell like a weed smoke. But yeah, a couple bucks off of each of these two, maybe about like 10 or 15% off when the bulk deal is all done. But see this writing on the back of the backing board? I've seen comics like go through my fingers of collections or of buying stuff so many times with this writing. And usually the prices are pretty good on them. AVP #1 for $3. Probably it was more like $2 and something I paid though. But yeah, this writing, I guess I recognize it now that it's stuff that came through his stuff. Smokey, this guy must be kind of a legend, because a lot of good comics have had that writing. Codename Danger #1. Don't know what this is, but you know what? Let's look. Yeah, I started reading this just to like flip through, and I like kind of couldn't put it down. Who did this again? Kind of crime spy stuff, but it was like really sharp, really intelligent, and like cracking the writing and the dialogue. Rich Buckler and Keith Giffen on the plot. Robert Lauren Fleming on the dialogue. Rich Buckler pencils. Bill McLeod and friends on inks. Yeah, this is pretty sharp, it seems. This might be fun to read. It was at least fun to read like the first handful of pages. I didn't want to stop. Okay, a copy of Richard Corbin's Den, #9 from Fantagor. For $1, maybe a little less. Basil Wolverton's Planet of Terror, #1. I've said before that this is probably my favorite Predator miniseries that I've ever read. I can't say that I've read all of them. I've tried to read like I'm like pretty good. I've read like quite a bunch, but I hardly ever see this set. Predator: The Bloody Sands of Time. Let me show you a little. As an aside, let me tell you that I guess is this Mylar or Mylite, this kind of bag that doesn't really get wrinkly or anything, but tape always sticks to it and rips, I noticed. So lately I've been using like double-sided tape and just putting a little dab under the flap and kind of like pressing down so that it adheres to this part of the bag rather than the flap. But I really don't know. This is one of those things where I'll ask you guys, what do you think? It's always interesting or useful to try and find the best system for like bagging this stuff that won't that'll like last long and also be like expeditious and efficient and like keep your comics safe. Because I like when like some people just cut the tape off every time and put new tape on, but I kind of like it when I can just like pump through things. I think it kind of the same way with like having a good system of storing boxes of comics is like I'll read them more if they're like easily accessible in a good way. Like I just kind of find that stuff is good for me that way if possible. But anyways, so yeah, Predator: The Bloody Sands of Time. This one is about like a reporter who starts to find out. Yeah, really great art too. Dan Barry and Chris Warner on the art. Dan Barry the script. Okay, I'll have to look for more stuff by him. The coloring too. This is great, like kind of 80s or early 90s coloring. But it's like a reporter who's just finding out about different incidents that are kind of classified maybe of different like war battles where this mysterious kind of beast or alien or whatever it was thing like caused havoc. Yeah, so it's kind of great because you get these little like mini stories throughout. And of course, like towards the end, oh, we can't show that. I like also that it's this character who, you know, nowadays in a story, every lead character has to be like, or I mean, in our day and age, every lead character has to kind of be like a heartthrob or whatever. Like, whereas say that like this guy is not, or say like the 70s, you get guys like Klugman or Robert Mitchum or freaking Lee Marvin and stuff. Like, you didn't have to be like you know what I mean, a certain type. I like how it's just this kind of like schlubby guy as the lead too, but he's still like heroic and stuff. Yeah, great art and coloring and the writing too. This is a fave. I do recommend this one if you see it out there. And also it's like if you are kind of into war comics too, it has like that angle, so it works on a lot of different levels, this series. Okay, moving on. Shade the Changing Man number 2 for $3. There was like actually a guy had Shade the Changing Man number 1 there for I think it was like $7 or $10 or something, and I meant to like go back and get it, but I didn't. But here's number 2, some Deadco. Haven't looked through that yet, so I'll spare you for now. We won't look through every single thing here, but we'll try to keep it balanced. Creepy 81. He had, what was it, 4 of these? Yeah, so the total would have been, they were $6 each, so it would have been 24. First thing, like I was like, you have 4 of these. Would you do $5 each for all 4? So he said yes. Creepy 81, Creepy 88. I'm not necessarily familiar with these, but trying to. Remember in a recent video too, I was talking about like which Bronze Age horror was like the best, and maybe DC like on average grades with factors of art and writing and covers. Maybe that would be like the overall winner. But I really like the Charlton writing though. But maybe Creepy and Eerie, if I could get more familiar, maybe they would actually be the winner if you're to include magazines. So I should try to get these more, I figure. Arnie Chan, Carmine Infantino, Esteban Maroto, Jose Ortiz, Ramon Torrance, a lot of good names. I have these like, oh yeah, let's chill out and just like look through some weird stuff once in a while. Look at these like Warren magazine themed briefs. Holy crap, that kind of rules. $4 in 1970 something. 1977. Could you imagine wearing those? You'd fucking have the best days of your lives wearing those. Unless they were uncomfortable. But even still, wear those on a date. Oh yeah, these monster makeup ads too. That's definitely some Exorcist inspired Reagan. Sometimes those books turn up. You can see like those how to do Hollywood makeup monster stuff. So keep an eye out for those too. These Planet of the Apes masks. A little bit of oddities here, but keep it moving to the next. Creepy number 94. Yeah, they always have like some interesting covers too. This aesthetic. Somebody was commenting like the 70s and 80s children's kind of animation aesthetics of like stop motion or claymation or like weird British animation and stuff. Yeah, that's a lost thing maybe, but pretty awesome. Creepy number 95. Naked Apes in color. I'm sure that'll, you're jealous of me for having this now, aren't you? This must be a Frazetta cover too, right? But I guess this is all apes. Everything in here. John Severin, Bernie Wrightson, Louis Bermejo. I wonder if he's related to Lee Bermejo without looking it up. Oh man, yeah, the Wrightson story in here is great. I kind of like the colored version that is in Master of the Macabre though. Was it Pacific? That collection of Wrightson stuff reprinted with color. The color on that is pretty great. Oh man, there's so much like the Frazetta painting. Could that cover be Wrightson rather than Frazetta? No, this has got to be Frazetta, right? It's more fun to guess rather than look stuff up. It's more fun to guess than ask you guys. I'll always prefer to do that. The ending is so good on that story. I love that one. What else did I mark here? Oh, yeah. Sorry if you'd rather see art, guys, but we'll see art. But I gotta remark on these ads a little bit here. These 3/4 shirts and stuff, man. These Warren magazine ones. Holy moly, these rule. These must be like thousands of dollars now if they're even intact at all. It looks like they're mostly in boys' sizes. Yeah. Okay, here we got men. What the heck? Are they all in boys' sizes? That's a drag. Well, let's hear it for the boys. They got some wins on the rest of the population at that point anyway. Okay. Some stuff from Wayne. It's always worth looking through his stuff there. It seems like especially there's towards the back of the collection, like maybe in the very like far corner, there is some like weird indie stuff or old horror stuff. This is Beyond the Grave #3 from Charlton. Oh man, this was great. We're gonna stop and look at this a little bit. Star Spangled War Stories #143, 12-cent cover price. I heard the thing is Enemy Ace in the Silver Age is really good. This Kubert stuff, and I gotta say, I read this and it's awesome. It's unbelievable, man. Look at this cover here. Enemy Ace is saying, "So, the murderous skies claim another brave victim. I salute you." This guy just plummeting to his death, ejected from his single-engine plane. World War I plane is also great. You know, the Red Baron game back on MS-DOS was amazing 3D fighter plane game. Yeah, we'll look at this a little bit. I want to say, you know, we were kind of asking what's the best war comics of all time. I can't pretend that I've read anywhere near a good representative percentage of the war comics out there, but to me, probably the best would be from Volume 1, Garth Ennis's War Story series. And to me, this was like up there. This might even edge it out. This is a crazy story in just one issue. The wild skies mock me as my power, as my Foker's wooden propeller bites into the wind-driven snow. Sorry, it's hard for me to like read this through the camera. So he's reminiscing back to a time in the Black Forest when he was walking, and then this wolf kind of like was walking along the same path as him, but it didn't attack him or do anything to him. His thought balloon here. Strange, our tracks are different, but our souls are the same. We are both killers, chosen by fate for our prescribed tasks. It is no wonder we two need no words to tell each other how we feel. Really nice art, nice two-pager there too. Night descends and yellow eyes gleaming. The giant wolf pads into the thick darkness of the Black Forest. Auf Wiedersehen, my friend, until we meet again. Cut back to the beginning of this story. My young, inexperienced pilot shiver. Is it from the cold, excitement, or fear? His thought balloon. They are so young, too young. Why must the young always be the cost of war's victory? Gentlemen, mount your aircraft. The choice of who lives or dies is not mine. And if they survive their first encounter, the chances increase. Yeah, because he's got like these new recruits, and he's like apprehensive because he finds that new recruits often die or else cause others to die. Why do I feel like a butcher leading lambs to their slaughter? I love this, man. This kind of green and eager, like kind of like son of a rich kid, his son of Enemy Ace's commander, wants to be in Enemy Ace's squad to prove himself, and Enemy Ace is like, damn it, I'm in a fucking bind, because like I gotta keep this kid alive or else my commanding officer is gonna like have it in for me. I can feel their eyes riveted to me. Good, they will attend me and stay together and live. On the frozen earth below, the Allies were moving war machines to their vantage points. Really nice. One page, a full pager here too. It almost doesn't look like Kubert in like these huge areas of spotting black, and how loose and fast it is, but it's awesome. And who could like draw plane battles and like that's something hard to do while being technically accurate to convey what's going on and also keep the reader interested. French Newports, it seems we are not the only birds to fly in ill weather. Yeah, because he like took them up in like a snow blizzard to kind of get the edge. He's like, the enemy won't be flying. We'll have an edge in this mission. The vengeful skies have spared me once more. It's always this kind of like poetic, almost fatalist or philosophical, almost like darkly spiritual narration on Enemy Ace's part. Like he has like a weird philosophy about death in the sky. The skies do not forgive mistakes. The bloody skies still call for death. The human killing machine will deliver it. The Frenchman chooses his own way to die rather than to stay with his flaming coffin. I pray that I will face death with equal heroism when my time comes. Because the guy just bailed out of his flaming plane. Oh yeah, this green guy. France is hit, he's in flames, the young are so eager, and their mistakes are so fatal. This is great. Great stuff, man. I'm definitely going to be looking for more of these. Gentlemen, the air is crystal clear. The enemy will be able to spot us miles away. Stay alert. Werner, you will be at my right wing. That's the new kid, the rich kid. The Englishman has done. Where's Werner? Watch out. Even as I shout into the cold, thin air, I can see the experienced enemy lock into the kill position on Werner's tail and ride him down, down, down. If I follow Werner, the rest of my staffel will be leaderless, easy prey to the enemy's bullets. I cannot allow one man to cause the obliteration of my entire patrol. So he has to let this rich kid, the son of the general, like just go down in flames. I must desert the one in danger to help the many. So after that guy goes missing, the general is pissed, man. You have cost me my son. I entrusted him into your care. I will repay you, Hammer of Hell. As your ranking officer, I swear it. So he starts to send him in on these kind of like suicide missions. He has like barely any chance of surviving. It gets to the point after a few missions that all of the soldiers under his care are dead, and only the enemy ace is left alive. At dinner here, he's saying, I can feel the eyes of every young man who fell in flames looking at me, accusing me. They are right. Like this general who has it in for him is like causing some very, very rough circumstances here. But he eventually finds out that Werner is actually a POW in a castle. And he, on a cliff. So he endeavors to go on a solo mission to land and like rescue Werner, bring him back. And, oh, sorry about that. And then that's how the story started, with Werner just like riding in a blizzard on the wings there. So yeah, again, I'm definitely gonna be looking for these. This was fucking awesome, man. And look at the trade dress. Look at how menacing and cool this looks. Not trying to send dog whistles out there, but it looks so good. It looks so cool. And yeah, I put this up with her with War Story. I'll have to, like, I've read those War Story Garth Ennis like a handful of times over the years, but I'm definitely gonna, like, this is the only one I've found of these. I'm gonna try to find more, but this was only $3. I think that's very rare to get one of these at such a low price, but I'd maybe be willing to even spend like up to $10 an issue on these or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. You know, back in the day, I would do the old CBZ, CBR thing and try to like pre-screen every purchase, but nowadays I kind of just find stuff in person. Okay, moving on. Ghost Manor, number 45. Some Charlton horror. Wayne Howard. That was a $5 with Professor Coffin and Arachne. Also, the Midnight Philosopher from Midnight Tales. Does this have? Yes, it does. This pinup of Arachne as well. Wayne Howard, pretty awesome. We'll be checking that out. I try to get any Wayne Howard, but even any Charlton horror, but whenever I see it's Wayne Howard, I get excited too, especially. I recently found out he was a black gentleman of color, so actually maybe I'll stop getting those and start burning them. Just kidding, guys. No dog. Just you never know what. I like to freak people out though, scare people. We got to keep the normies away from here. That's the thing. Like, make people that are easily freaked out not stick around here. Moving on. Eternity Comics. You know, we've been talking about these. This is Ghouls. This cover always like intrigued me. I was like, I gotta find out what's in there. So I did ask him this time. I was like, can I look in there? I'm wondering what's in there. And I saw it looks like this like European style, high quality art. And maybe judging by the dimensions, of course, maybe it was originally in magazine form, which is As long as it's legible and not the text isn't shrunken too much, that's usually a good thing. If it came from magazine format, it's like more adultish, right? Like more mature reading and art experience. Who did this? It looks like at a glance, it looked like different artists, but I think it's actually the same artist throughout. You can see the story is named The Ghoul, so the same artist throughout, but kind of doing different styles. And it looks like all these stories are about ghouls. Which, what are those? Just undead flesh eaters, basically zombies. Maybe a little bit different brand. It'll be interesting to see. Let me just find out who this artist is here while we do a little bit more. Great black and white art. Looking for a credit here, but lacking my narration and some silent points, so you can kind of like admire the art. The Skull of the Ghoul. Yeah, definitely that kind of like 60s or early 70s horror kind of vibe and European flavor. I'm always a sucker for that kind of thing. I know I can definitely find a credit here. Ferran Sostres. You see this aesthetic, this cover of Scarlet Kiss. It's like indie vampire chicks, kind of an outsider, but maybe European influenced art. I'm the proverbial fish in the barrel to fall for this. I'll like definitely be like, what is that? But it was okay. It's more like an American kind of thing. David Gomain and Charles Walker. This was not bad, but didn't really like do a lot for me. You can see it's more of like an kind of modern-ish American style art and story as well. Not bad. It'll be going in the maybe pile. Maybe I'll reread it after. You can't win them all, or they're not all going to be like showstoppers. Okay, some normal stuff. Captain America 385. This was on my list for something. It must be like Diamondback or Serpent Society or something. Batman The Dark Knight Falls is The Dark Knight Returns, the final chapter, part 4, I think. For a $5, it's the first print, and I think there's an upgrade to the copy I have, so it's always nice to get original Dark Knight Returns, but they're usually pretty expensive, so not a bad price to me for that. Alright, this is kind of a grail to me, and I think this was a steal of a deal as well. This had a $40 price tag on it, 2001: A Space Odyssey Marvel Treasury Special. But I looked around at his table. He had like a handful of things that I wanted to. He had some cool stuff, actually. I think this is the guy who had that Shade the Changing Man #1 for like, maybe it was like $13 or something. I probably could have got it for 10, but I forgot to go back after. Anyway, moving on. I asked him like, how low do you think you would go for that 2001: A Space Odyssey? He said 30, and I was like, yep, I'll do it. I mean, I probably could have been like, how about 25? But I think 30 is very fair. Let's take a look at this. Right, this is in amazing condition also, man. I very, very carefully cleaned this as well, and it looks so nice. And there's like no spine ticks on it or anything. A little bit of this here for anybody, you know, who cares about that thing. It's more of like just being able to get it in a nice readable condition. This is like reading this in freaking IMAX at this size, man. This is crazy. This is a little bit of like a trophy. Like, I'll see how the reading, this isn't even like my most favorite issue of 2001, because I like, this is pretty much, it seems like the adaptation of the movie, pretty much. But, you know, after is when it starts to get real weird. That's like when Kirby just fully takes the reins, and it's just, what a great, insane series that is. But this is really nice. You can see him doing this, like, photo collage stuff, too. Maybe the colors could be more vivid and the papering a little whiter. I'm trying to nitpick here. This is sick. How can you read this though? You wouldn't be able to read this in bed because it's so big. For the purposes of, you know, this is the size of a regular comic here, so it's almost like twice the size. This let's just quickly flip through a little bit. I love the newsprint too. For this era, for this like type of coloring, I really love newsprint. Just pure madness. I think this is like, you know, for some people are more, or are somewhat interested in the money thing, I think this is worth significantly more as well. And like I said, I cleaned it and it just made it like sparkle. It's so nice to, I'm cleaning things a little bit more thoroughly now with, I was taught by like a library sciences lady back in the day about cleaning this stuff, or cleaning like used books all the time with just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, not enough to have it wet, but just like, you know, moist to the touch or whatever. And it like took off like a nice layer of like grime and dust, and it just makes the colors like really pop. It looks so nice now. Yeah, happy to get that one. Okay, moving on. I saw he also had this Sham Comics #1. Who did this again? It's like a bunch of guys. They take Golden Age stuff and then like change the captions to make them comedic. And the premise, like, I've been looking for these for a while, but I think they're like indie. Maybe you had to like special order them. This is like near minty shape too. And you know me with comedy, it can go either way. So, I like to joke around, but actually I like usually don't go in for like reading or comedy or watching comedy movies or shows or anything. Usually I hate them. They make me angry. But this was like, at first flipping through it I was like, oh no, maybe it's not funny. But I did read the Basil Wolverton one here. Strange Adventures of Randy Rocket, and it was pretty funny. It was making me laugh. Tim Fuller, the guy who changed all the captions and text on this one, he's just horny. He's just like trying to find ladies out in space, and he finds this one tied to this thing, and he's like, I'll have you untied in a jiffy. Look at them boobies. My partner and I are merely playing a little bondage game, and Oliver went for more rope. I say, are you brain damaged? Leave me alone, or I will call for help. I don't like the look in your eye. I know how this works. I save you, and you fall gratefully into my arms. Begone! Don't you understand the Queen's English, you oaf? Hoo-wee, listen to her go on, a jabbering and all that gibberish. So I guess maybe she's speaking in like an alien language. Look at these crazy Wolverton things too. It turns out all these alien things that are coming after him. I'm sure in the original he was actually rescuing this woman from like weird aliens or something, but in this they're like the police. all these weird aliens are like a police force coming after him, that she's kind of like, this guy's kidnapping me, I'm just trying to play a bondage game with my husband. There's a way. This thing, this is not some beast of burden. This is the Lord Mayor, and you are kicking him in the flank. My eyes are up here, jerk. Say, sweet cheeks, did I happen to mention that I'm hung like a Polaris missile? Once you have an Earthman, you'll never go back. Well, I don't like to brag, but... Come back to his husband. Ah, so there you are, Janet. I've been searching everywhere. The chief of police told me you'd run off with a ruggedly handsome ape-man, and here I find you riding around on the mare with this hillbilly. Have you lost your mind? You could at least call me so I wouldn't worry. Somewhat amusing. Sorry, I didn't have time to call. I was too busy trying not to get... Well, let's get you tied up again. I'm just not in the mood anymore, Oliver. What? Don't tell me you have a headache again. I have needs too, you know. I suppose you'd rather be with this monkey man. Hey, I don't need a wingman, so step aside, you buttface. Shut up, Cracker. This is between me and Janet. I don't know what you said, but I don't like your tone. Boop. Somewhat amusing. This ad is funny. Girls can't resist this kiss me necktie as it glows on the dork. The text on this tie, what it's been changed to. These women remarking, oh, how clever, I get it. It's great for uptight white guys and who wear their pants too high. And darker gentlemen, too. The text on that tie. I'll let you read it. So, this is enough to, you know, sometimes I like just like a Beavis and Butthead level of comedy. It can be sharp or just that level too. Oh, Frank Frazetta on the back. Comic books, enemies of youth. Hey kid, I got some Primo X-Men. How about a taste? The first one is free. He's a comic book fiend. Better stay away from him. That's how it starts. Pretty soon, Johnny is selling drugs just so he can afford to buy comic books. He loses his enthusiasm for sports, for girls, even for his own personal hygiene. Eventually, Johnny lost interest in everything and spent all his time high on superheroes. Yeah, we'll see. I've been curious about these for a while. More Charlton, Beyond the Grave, number 2. This time reprinted from Modern Comics. I guess I have this open, maybe to look through. Nice black cover, but in quite nice shape. Look at the sign, Read Comics. Pretty good. Die Laughing. Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. I'm just trying to get any Charlton horror at all times. And yeah, I'll read it, see how I like it. Usually I end up wanting to keep it. That was $4. $5 for this early issue of Witching Hour. This is number 9. But it does have this little chunk taken out of the corner and a little bit beat up, but a pretty good price for a low number. Witching Hour, I'd say. With some nice Alex Toth art, too. His art almost kind of reminds me of, like, early, when Disney is, like, weird. Sometimes a little bit. Maybe, like, Sleeping Beauty-ish. Let's look at it a little bit more. Why not? Find some more here. Sorry about that delay. A few seconds wasted of your life. Okay, here. Yeah, I like this. It's so quick but efficient and like just really nice cartooning. This is really cool too. Nice inking, man. This must be, is it with like a brush? Maybe these center lines are a nib? It could even just be with a brush if it's like very controlled, very in tune with the instrument. Having used it a bunch, maybe. Okay, moving on. From Jeff Nielsen, who, yeah, he's, some people are like, oh, his prices are like a little bit high and stuff. Usually, like, there'll be about like retail at the most, but I've been noticing if you dig, you can find some pretty wicked scores off him. This is from a $2 bin, and it seems like his stock is refreshed a lot. Like, I think maybe he's, not to put his business out there, I'm sure everybody can kind of tell, anybody who follows him on Facebooks, that he's like probably buying collections and going through them and stuff a lot or something, because he's got a lot of stock moving. Anyway, from $2 bins, Cat Claw number 9. Been looking at these lately. Zola Strya and the Bard, pretty fun indie barbarian chick comic. That's number 1. This is a cool one. Hellblazer number 11. This is a pretty awesome standalone issue. I think people have ranked this as like, it's on some lists as like a great standalone, some of the great standalone issues. A crazy horror comic. This is the one. This is maybe a double or a third copy for me now, because I'm like, I'll like have this for sale or for friends or something gladly. This is the story of his like biggest failure, maybe that first failed exorcism of that little girl, where she lost her arm and her soul was damned to hell because he like failed the exorcism and stuff, conjuring the demon, and the demon like took her. Pretty freaky stuff, and good horror comics too. The layouts you can see are crazy, the colors are crazy. These friends that are like ghosts later that haunt him, this might be, it's been years since I've read this, but this is like kind of why, like where it all started to go wrong and their souls were damned along with his. It's kind of just a matter of time that the demons and evils of the world will try to claim them if they can, as soon as they can. He was originally modeled, of course, on Sting, right? You can see it there, probably pretty heavily. I'll just show a little bit, because this is the art, like John Pierre's neighbor. What's his name? Richard Piers Rayner. Sorry, my bad. Sometimes I don't really like this, like maybe he's using reference on the faces, but it's not bad. And yeah, it's pretty cool horror art. This is like pretty freaky nuts stuff. And when it's like this far out kind of horror too, where it's almost like unreal, or like the reality is bent, and like, because that's the extent of the horror. It's kind of cool with these unorthodox like panels and layouts and stuff too. So freaky, man. Yeah, this is one where, yeah, he got he was in the insane asylum for years after this too, right? This botched. He's trying to run out of hell with her. Oh man, the reveal when he like looks down and he sees the arm. Her arm is severed, and he just came back through the portal is like with only her arm like ripped off her. Come back to this scene where he's like revisiting the scene, and this is like dull arm in a puddle, almost mocking him. Like, could it be placed there? Crazy stuff, man. This is some good stuff. Been remarking that Hellblazer, even like Preacher, Transmetropolitan, I'm a little bit like scared to revisit them. They were very formative in like being a young adult. But I did purge my collection when I was like about 21. But, Hellblazer and Preacher, like, those are series that I put back together. And this for me completes the first 50. I have almost like the first 150, but missing a few here and there. Now I do have the first 50 with these from a $2 bin. Hellblazer number 6. These are all like minty as well, so I do recommend out there, if you're kind of interested in these, now seems a good time to collect these. Number 7, number 8. Maybe they'll be in dollar bins at some point, but I feel like they're undervalued at this time. Stuff like Hellblazer and Preacher, and even Transmetropolitan, or a bunch of Vertigo stuff like that. Sandman you can find like as well in like bargain bins and stuff. This is by the same guy who did that cyberpunk series Shatter, right? Dawn of Matrix, The Perfect Killing Machine. This is pretty fun, actually. I thought I've gotten this repeated times, and I say the same thing. I thought it was dumb at first, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually quite good. All right, here's one where I'm a sucker. P.T. Barnum, he was talking about me for buying stuff like this. Elektra and Cyblade. Hulgan, Mackie, Finch, 10. That sounds good, right? That sounds good, right? It should be all right. Let's look through here a little bit. Definitely like that 90s, kind of like losing the plot maybe a little bit. Like the 90s guys. Okay, that's not bad. But you'll see, even though it's got Cyblade, Elektra, that's not bad either. Okay. Yeah. Mostly it's just dudes standing around, man. Like, if you have an Elektra, give me some fucking action or fightings or jumping around, or at least shirtless dudes in leather pants taking up the whole page. Really, dude? Come on, guys. What are you doing? You're losing the plot in 90s. Yeah, this is like kind of why a lot of this 90s stuff failed, I think. No, I mean, maybe it's a great reading experience, but it's all talking heads, right? Fucking, we're past the staple now, and everybody's just been standing around talking. Finally get this. That's kind of good. That's kind of creative there. These guys here, oh man. Yeah, but just standing around talking. This is another action pose. There's only been like 2. This is the 3rd action pose if you count that guy standing shirtless with his arms up as an action pose. So, yeah, this was a fail. I didn't need to get that one. Don't get that one if you ever see it. Okay, still from those $2 bins, The Art of Heath Robinson. Yeah, and I think I got a little bit of a deal. You always ask for a little bit of a deal, getting the bulk deal. No idea what this is, but you can see that cover. Cover looks pretty good. Maybe it's kind of, yeah, classical, maybe woodcuts. Photography and lithograph service. Yeah, this must be Tome Press, right? They reproduce a lot of like kind of fine art and weird stuff. They did those biographies on the Pre-Raphaelites and the Gustave Doré collections, Book of Apocrypha. They do a lot of weird stuff. There's some other ones that I'm looking for, like Art of the Tarot, where it's a bunch of these weird like underground or indie creators doing like renditions of tarot cards, or they have some where it's like interpreting and adapting like the mythos of King Arthur, and Merlin, or stories about the Black Plague, stories about, there's one about like I think it's a leper on the prison colony. Tome Press, I guess they're a division of Caliber, but whoever was in charge there had them doing some pretty highfalutin, snooty, you know, highbrow stuff, but it's still dark, which is it's right up my alley. Sometimes I can be smart too, not dumb, but I do like all this weird kind of grotesque stuff, man. And it seems like this stuff is a little bit undervalued too, in my opinion. Like, this stuff can be found in like $1 bins and $2 bins, but rarely only. Kind of this like older like woodcuts and copper etchings and stuff like that, man. It's pretty rad. So I do get tome stuff whenever I get the chance, and it is like pretty good little section of the collection to cultivate, I think. Okay, these are from a $3 section that he had, and the deal was if you get 10, then it's $25 or $2.50 each. Still, to me, I'm like, I love paying only like $1 or $2, but to evaluate again, I think a lot of this stuff, just as it happens this time, I'm kind of like thinking again. Okay, this is 18, number 3. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 55. I'm thinking again, yeah, a little bit of writing here. Maybe this is like what I prefer. Was there like a freaking bookworm or something going through this? Like, what is this? It's almost like a flip book or something. Some kind of weird animation. What did this? Is that what actual bookworms do? But yeah. If it's 12 cent, I'll like, and kind of like in a genre that I like, I might check it out. I thought this might be... Okay, let's see here. Stan Lee, Dick Ayers, John Severin. Cool. That should be actually pretty good. Yeah, but I'm thinking like stuff like this might be more what I should what's the fucking word? Prioritize, rather than $1 and 50-cent stuff. Because I feel like a lot of the bargain stuff, I go a little too crazy maybe, and then it's kind of almost like homework, trying to like read it and go get through it and be like, is this like my kind of thing or not? Whereas this stuff is like almost always like I'm picking it. I'm being so choosy that it is my kind of thing. We talked about Human Torch and Submariner previously. Fantasy Masterpieces, number 7. Some thick like collections of the old, is this even 1940s stuff? I love this stuff, man. Let me show you why, because we did talk about it, but let me just show you. Remember I talked about their attitudes were like kind of fun and funny? Maybe, okay, he's patrolling the city looking for Submariner to fight him again. Can we drop you off anywhere, Torch? Yes, headquarters. It's you, Torch. Where's the Submariner? He's vanished, sir. Your orders were to bring him in. Maybe you're scared. Are you trying to insult me? I oughta. He's gonna punch the police chief. He's like threatening to punch him. Remember, you're a policeman and I'm your superior officer. Chief, the Submariner is at it again. He just tore down the elevator. In a flash, the torch turns on its flame and flies through the wall. He just like melts right through the wall of the police station. So he's on the loose again. Hot-tempered lad, he'll be a worthy opponent for the Submariner. Well, Frank, what are you staring at? Get the mason and have him mend that wall. And call out the riot squad. Yes, sir. I guess he's a hothead, right? He just fucking always like doesn't think. He's in the car with this chick who's trying to tell him, Torch, Submariner isn't half as bad as you think, but he's mighty dangerous when aroused. Listen, Betty, that water beetle has done enough damage. Besides, my orders are to bring him in, and that's what I'm going to do. You're a fool! Attention all police cars, the Submariner was just seen atop the Empire State Building. Get him. Listen, now we'll get that guy. Step on it, Betty. I can't. We're caught in a traffic jam. The torch turns on its flame and leaps through the top of Betty's car. Torch, the car's burning. What'll I do? Hold tight. Almost on top of the car, the torch swoops in the air again with the flames following him, their master. That was close. I even felt the heat from his body, says Betty. Betty looked kind of scared, but the fire is out. It's like he causes as much shit as he tries to prevent. But yeah, maybe that's not a great indicator. This is just a taste, just the first few pages. I don't know. These just fucking... they always like... These are really fun to me. So, I'll recommend them again. That Golden Age or Atomic Age, whatever you call it. Human Torch and Submariner stuff. This might be worth a little more, but I'll buy that for $3. Kind of at these cons, or a lot of the time, indie or underground stuff is so rare that if it's like under $5 and looks suitable enough, I'll get it without knowing what it is. Kitchen Sink Comics, Kings in Disguise, with a Harvey Kurtzman cover. This is like a Depression era runaway kid and running into hobos. This one hobo tries to kill and molest him, or like molest him first and maybe then kill him, but kicks him off the train. This other train is this other hobo was about to be murdered by that the same crazy hobo as well. But they buddy up, him and this kid. He's like kind of worried about this other hobo too, if he's crazy. He calls himself the King of Spain. And they go along, you know, it's Depression era. Hobos in the Depression era has always like been an interesting thing. Even Joe Coleman talked about some of that stuff too, right? And Boxcar Bertha, the Scorsese movie. But yeah, this is wild. They just, oh man, this dream sequence is freaky too. This is actually a really well done dream sequence, where it actually seems like a real dream, not just heavy-handed or anything. It's always hard for people to make fictitious dreams, but in this one it's good. Yeah, and these dudes just trying to survive. Very, very interesting. Like, I couldn't put this down. This is the kind of... I usually stay away from anything kind of like biographical when it comes to indies and undergrounds. I don't... that's not usually my kind of thing, but this is... this doesn't go into like, oh, why can't I get a date or any of that crap. This is fucking riding the rails because of your fucking life. Like, so many fucked up things happen in your life, man. And, you know, this guy's life is kind of mysterious, but you can kind of like put two and two together. Some of the things that tormented him and kind of made him crack and go on the run. It's fucking wild. Good stuff, man. You can see the third issue, I guess, had the Mark Schultz cover too. I would look for more of these. I've never seen any of these before. Okay, again for $2.50, some normal people stuff. Walter Simonson Thor with Beta Ray Bill. I'm kind of hoarding any like non-key Beta Ray Bill stuff just to read and just to have. This is Thor 352. Homage Studios swimsuit special. You know I always get these too. I need more. I think I've sold all my extra copies. So first, J. Scott Campbell art as well. I know you guys are aching to see inside, but I've shown these enough. You're gonna have to do without for right now. I know November is over, but okay. The Eternals number 15. Some Kirby. Eternals versus Hulk. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero number 2, an early one, and looks like pretty decent shape. Silver Surfer, The Parable, Stanley and Mobius, number 2, in pretty nice shape. I've seen these usually priced for like $15 each, so for $2.50 I will do that. Piecing together that Joss Whedon and John Cassaday Astonishing X-Men run. These are, you know, it's more normie stuff-ish, but I do like this run. 13, 14, 19... Astonishing X-Men Xenogenesis is Warren Ellis and Kari Andrews. Number 3, I think I have 1 and 2 already. Or no, number 2. Number 1, I can't remember. maybe I did have 1 and 2 already, though. Maybe this should be considered a key. This is the X-Men issue where Kitty Pryde says the N-word. 196. Should probably slab this. Just joking, guys. You probably want to see this, don't you? And you think this is the channel where I'm going to show you such things. Well, you thought right. Just kidding, you don't need to see that. Look it up. Keep me out of trouble. X-Men 179. This is the first appearance of Leech. And when Kitty is about to marry the Morlocks. Or sorry, this one Morlock, rather. Doesn't this, oh, look at that, it's bad fold. Doesn't this have like a nice intro page too? Oh yeah. I don't care. Yeah. It's nice. First appearance of Leech, so hold on to this one for when in 20 years all your kids and grandkids are going to be wearing Leech backpacks and with their Leech sneakers and Leech pencil cases and everything. This is going to send us to the moon, boys. Uncanny X-Men 189. Yeah, we talked about that. 240. I was kind of just for okay, to evaluate again about the sale. I expected to sell more X-Men, but I sold it like most of my Ninja Turtles, all of my Lone Wolf and Cub, all of my Metal Hurlant. Yeah, and I have my bins like I have like $2 and 3 for $5 section, but the big price section, it seems at all these shows is more popular than my like bargain sections. So I wonder if I should even try to not have those like bargain sections or just integrate it all. It's weird. I hardly sold any trade paperbacks or comic sets, even though they're priced like cheaper than anywhere. So yeah, I'm wondering, just evaluating how to better organize or whatever. I estimated maybe I would sell like 10% of my stock, and that seemed to be the case. Just about exactly. So that was pretty good. I wonder about doing it again. Maybe I'll do like one a year, maybe two. I don't know. Some things made me mad too. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it was worth it. For anybody interested on that front. Okay, from the non like $3 stuff, this is TMNT Book 19, just getting another replacement copy for the Return to New York trilogy for sale. This was just like $5. Some more Wayne Howard. This is Midnight Tales number 8. I just always will get these every time. And this is a pretty good deal too. I guess the price went down on this, but this is like near mid-tier, at least VF. Hellblazer number 1 for $20. I remember seeing places even sell VFs for like 90, and they went pretty fast. So yeah, cool to get an extra copy of that. I wonder if there's an upgrade to the copy I have. I feel like probably not though. Towards the end of the con, I saw our man Ferd handling a long box full of trade paperbacks. And I said, hey, what's the deal with that? What's going on there? And he said it was in the process of a transaction with another vendor, but that I could look through it and maybe buy something. He said these trade paperbacks were brand new and that you'd maybe go down to like 20 or 15, but I got him to sell them to me for $10 each. Yeah. A bunch of Grendel Warchild. I love this series, man. But I will say, yeah, this is like the first Grendel series I read, and I really loved it. If you can get the single issues, I think it is a little bit nicer paper, but only if you're like being a stickler. Tapman remarked on his reviews of Grendel that paper is awesome, and like, yeah, that's something yes, in fact, that is true. But not a huge difference, but a little bit of a difference if you do care about that stuff. It's very slight, maybe, but it's in the floppies. It's awesome. Grendel Tales 4 Devils 1 Hell, and Grendel Tales Devils and Deaths. So let me ask you guys. I'm not. I guess these are kind of like the Grendel series that I have ready right now. I've already read Warchild. I love Grendel Prime. Which one should I read next then? 4 Devils 1 Hell or Devils and Deaths? Or should I wait and try to find something else first? I don't want to wait though. Don't let me wait too long. Glad to get those for like $10 each. I think that's quite fair. Getting close to the end. Second last guy. I was sharing a table with Don Bailey, and he had kept one of these aside for me. In his savviness, he managed to scoop up like a lot of the copies around town. I think, maybe, not to put his business out there, but he just sold me this at cost, and apparently you can sell these now already for like 20 or $25 each. Yeah, Tales of Paranormal. I haven't read this yet, though, but will do. This is one I've been looking for a while that he sometimes has. Mr. A, number 2. We did a little bit of a trade, and he came out like owing me like maybe $10 or something. I said, how about this? How about it, or 15 or something? He's got a price of 38 on here. I said, how about I just give you $10 and then we're even on this. I've been looking for this for a while. I'm always scared to read it because it has like such a mythical, like there's so much anticipation I have to read this that I'm almost scared that it'll let me down. But yeah, pretty stoked to read this. You know, I'm gonna have to definitely be in an environment that's like a deprivation tank. Just eat a lot of mescaline and then eat this visually. I don't know, but definitely stoked to get into that. All right, guys, the pièce de résistance, possibly. I've been looking for this homie back online back in like, I want to say it was like 2013 or 2014, was showing some of this off, that they had even adapted, or somebody had made an adaptation of Adventures of Jodelle in animation. I tried to look on YouTube though if it's on there, but I don't think it is, because it must have been adult, like there must be nudity and stuff in it. Maybe it was on Vimeo or something, but that was pretty cool, and that kind of sent me on the alert to like be looking for these. And even the newer collections from, I think it was like 2014 Fantagraphics, were always like $100 or more. And it's kind of the thing, like I never sent away for it. It was always like on the Christmas wish list for the newer one, but those are all out of stock. This is from 1966 and it's in pretty good shape. Look at the talk about like gingerly, like carefully cleaning things. Like there was a lot of grime and dust that came off of this, and I was like being very careful too, but as thorough as I could be to make it really sparkle, you know. I did a bulk deal for because yeah, that dude's a little bit hard-nosed with me. I think I got the better of him in like 1 or 2 deals, so he's kind of like getting me back a little bit by not going too low on this. I got like $25 off for the 3 of these books, Adventures of Jodelle. Let's take a look here a little bit, man. Just be careful though. Kind of like abstract, absurdist, like surrealist, pop. I haven't begun to read too much though, because again, you're gonna have to like I really want to like hunker down and fucking eat some peyote buttons or something before getting into this. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but how nice are the colors? Like that's another thing, like even though the dust jacket is pretty beat, the colors are so vivid and the pages inside are so clean. Really nice. This he had $100 price tag on this, but that's kind of like what it is. not more, not significantly less though. Not having to deal with shipping and kind of like being able to see something in front of your eyes and knowing what you're getting, and the fact that it's like, yeah, I am pleased with this. Sometimes even if you see something in front of your face, you might be like, nah, that's not really the one for me. But yeah, almost 10 years of having this on the wish list. Do that. That's kind of like my MO nowadays. Is when I first started going to cons and stuff, I was like a little bit, well, not to be gauche and stuff, but like back then I wasn't making as much cash, so I'd be able to go to cons with like $50 and get a lot, just try to get the very best stuff from the bargain bins. But nowadays I'm kind of like, yeah, I'll get like 1 grail thing, maybe 1 or 2, maybe, depending. Like for, again, to think out loud, those like bargain bins, I could probably avoid them a little more and get more like cooler stuff. And then also thinking in terms of like money, it's easier to get a return on investment if you're thinking of things that way in on like one bigger item rather than a 50 smaller items or something, right? But to me it's just kind of like the enjoyment of, I want stuff like to read and look at, so I'm just thinking out loud. But this is wild, man. This is one of those things where, yeah, this is a grail, so will do. I probably shouldn't even show all that, but chances are if you've got this far and managed to get through all the barbed wire of the red herring dog whistles and stuff, then you're okay. You're probably cool, hopefully. I wanted to wait till I was with you guys to open this up, because I know some homies like Elbow Man. This is like one where I'll be like, yeah, fucking let's open this with the homies here. Hold on, let me get my knife. The Cold Steel. What's it called? Carbon fiber or whatever. Butterfly knives. They're not detectable by metal detectors, guys. So definitely go on your Christmas wish list. But let's open this up. You know what? It's hard to do it one-handed. I do have to quickly open this on camera, but I'll look inside with you. Okay, and that carbon fiber, like gravity knife that's not a red herring dog whistle. I'm encouraging you guys to take those into airports and government buildings and stuff. Just joking. Okay, there's a text. The Art of Mark Teixeira. I've never seen this one before. He had one that looked like a little more erotic too, but I could only really afford to get one, so I thought I would try my luck with this one. Oh, I hear that new book smell. Wait a minute! It's signed. Is that? Cool. Okay. No regret at all. Okay, that's what he looks like. Maybe I should go to the book rig. Texas got your comics, Ghost Rider, Black Panther, Panther Vampirella, Scythe, Moon Knight, art tips from Tex. We'll make sure to definitely give that a quick look. That's on page 65, okay. I don't want this video to be too long, and I don't want to overdo it. We'll stop once in a while, but we're just gonna Johnny 5 it right now. The Shadow. And if you want, you can find scans and stuff, man. I'm sorry. Ugh, is it Little Kim? Who the heck's that dude? Cleveland. Supergirl. Some romance novel? Ghost Rider. That's a nice cover. Fisto or whatever. Yeah, I like the Pestle stuff a lot. 2002. Black Cat. I'm skipping like pages. I'm kind of flipping through this like 3 or 4 pages at a time. Yama from the Akira, like, what's it called? When they had different artists and writers doing Akira. Is it shorts? Scythe. Okay, art tips from Text, sorry. Doesn't really look like it. It's kind of just talking about his career a little bit still. When I'm doing finishes, I take the pages to a light box, and while on the light box, that's where I address my problem areas and redraw the pages. Then I essentially paint over that. It's double the work, but the penciler gets his originals back. Yeah, that's kind of like, it's not a big deal. I'm talking like I know stuff. Okay. I'm looking at this storm too at the same time while I'm reading. I'm like, oh, I want to look back and forth. You can see the Franklin Booth influence. Not as heavy as Alcala, but just as passionate. You're passionate, eh? On works that text either inks and pencils or just inks, one can also see his unique special effects fleshing out, which tends to be towards a black and white approach of producing values and not just solid lines. It is highly unorthodox. Washes take the place of tonal lines. Text likes this approach because the pages can be scanned in by the colorist, who then adds the tones in Photoshop, altering the color schemes. The pages look equally as good in black and white. I agree. Oh yeah, who's this? I guess it's Witchblade, huh? Remember to put passion into your work. With Ghost Rider, for example, I need to convey the passion, the menace, and the emotion all at the same time, keeping in mind that he is not really an evil character. He cares about the victims, and he doesn't kill unwantonly. All of this needs to be apparent in every move that the character makes. With a Ghost Rider, one of my tricks is to furrow the brow, which helps create the passion. Yeah, that's something you'll notice that it's an expressive skull. Lighten up the frame going away from the character to add depth. I also like to use natural gray washes. Use tones and don't overwash. Work on the subtlety of the piece. Subtle. Use tools around you and find tools that are right for any given job. For Ghost Rider, I have a skull, a replica, not a real one, and I'm able to tilt it and move it to the position that I need. Yeah, makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. When painting, you need to know basics, fundamentals. If you don't know basics, go back and learn them. Anatomy, mechanical drawing, gesture, rhythm. And don't tell me what to do with that regard, you freaking... Nice Supergirl. Howard Pyle, Wyeth. Maybe I should have, like, I mean, of course I would regret not getting the erotic one, but maybe that'll be there next time for me. Well, I'm not sure it's erotic, it just, like, it said sketchbooks of text, and it, like, looked like it had, like, babes on it. He does draw really nice babes. He draws cool everything. Yeah, and definitely more suited to, like, kind of like a horror tone or dark fantasy or something like that. Hey. Why not take a few minutes? A bit of a treat. Oh, cool. I like when they end strong with, like, full page stuff. Yeah, he's good with the Punisher, too. Those Punisher War Journal books he did, those are pretty awesome. Oh, that's pretty nice. Cool. Had to do that with you guys. Okay, the last book that I got with him, I pretty much just got this free. You know, I just want to, like, go for a multi-deal in order to get a deal, right? Pyrenees, or Pyrenees, I don't know how you would say it. Piranesi, The Prison Planet, Milo Manara, from Heavy Metal Books. This is a pretty big book too. I can confidently open this up because it's weird. It's actually a Manara book that's more like a fantasy sci-fi thing, almost like you'd see from Mobius or something. So I'll say, like, thanks for watching, guys. Like and comment and stuff. Always nice to hear from you. About any old thing, just be nice, please. There's more to come. Yeah, let me know how I did. Again, in reevaluating, I'd say, like, I need to restrain myself more when it comes to the bargain bins, probably, because I probably could have easily saved like 100 or 150 on bargain stuff and then got, like, cooler big stuff. But I'm still pretty happy. I do like the balance of, like, getting both, kind of, right? Is like, as long as I'm happy with it. But a lot of the time, the bargain stuff is for me to, like, take chances on things and, like, try to find new things. But a lot of the time, it's only like 1 in 10. It's only like 1 in 10 things I end up actually liking out of those that I got. But okay, and this is when I better not flip through any further. Okay, so thanks, guys. Please do all the things, and happy hunting out there. Hope you find cool stuff that you were looking for, and maybe things that you didn't even know you were looking for. All right, cheers. See you in the next one.